Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today we're going to talk about mediocrity. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser, co-founder, CEO of Kale Houser Leadership, where we try to help small businesses, specifically HVAC businesses, create amazing teams in order to be incredibly successful. So if you are struggling right now, not understanding why you've got people maybe quitting on you that you don't understand why, please visit kalehouser.com, book a call with us at the bottom of that page, and we would love to talk with you and chat with you. And certainly listen to more of these episodes because there are a lot of tips and tricks and techniques in them that will certainly help you if you apply them. But if you want help with that, that's what Kale Houser Leadership is here for, to help you do that. I want to talk a little bit today about mediocrity. To be mediocre. What does the word mediocre mean? If you have not heard this term, it's certainly not something that's prevalent very much in the English language in your daily spoken conversations. Mediocre means to be essentially subpar. It means to be kind of just it means to be, I would say, below average. Like average would be an improvement if you were already mediocre. If you could just get to average, that would be an improvement. So, but it implies more than just performance. It implies mindset. It implies lifestyle. It implies, certainly your physical health or well-being. There's all kinds of extra things that are implied when you use the term mediocre or mediocrity. So what we're talking about is in the sense of your business. What are you accepting and how does it affect you? Are you accepting mediocre behavior? Are you accepting mediocre effort? Are you accepting mediocre results from your people, from yourself? And what is that doing to you as the leader, and what is it doing to your business? I bet I can kind of guess if you are. I'm guessing that you're struggling. I'm guessing that you do not have the results you want. You do not have the lifestyle you want. You don't have the revenue you want. You do not have anything that you want unless you yourself are mediocre, which I'm hoping you're not, because if you were, you probably would not be listening to this podcast, because mediocre people do not seek out other opinions and other advice and expert opinions or mentors, because that's not what mediocre people do. So more than likely, the scenario in this case is you're dealing with people that may be mediocre around you. But this is also a symptom of being mediocre, is you put up with mediocrity in your life. That could be in your relationships. It could be in your community and who you hang out with, your friends. I hate to go there, but I'm going to. Oh, I don't really hate to go there. I'm going to go there. There's some friends that you probably shouldn't be friends with anymore because they're not good for you. If you have goals, ambitions, aspirations, and that old high school buddy or girlfriend has none of that, and they don't want to do anything other than gossip about people or talk bad about people or go out for, constant beer and wings and just get hammered every weekend and watching the football game while you've got other stuff to do, man. You're trying to build something lasting and great. Maybe it's time to bounce, because by continuing to allow those people to influence you and that mediocre behavior, it will not add to your life. Mediocrity does not add. It's not an additive substance. It is only subtractive. It only brings down, because that's what mediocrity is. Okay? So it's the lowering of standards. So if you've got standards, you need to uphold them, because when you don't, and you either don't enforce the standards, or you, like worst case scenario, you lower the standards because maybe you have sympathy for somebody in their situation and they're not meeting those standards, you are accepting mediocrity. You're accepting that mediocre behavior. Not average behavior, you're accepting subpar. And ultimately, as you continue to allow this, again, whether it's in your life or in your business or on your team, it will affect the motivation level of everyone else, including yourself. Because that's what mediocrity does. There is no motivation in mediocre behavior. And ultimately, you will get to that sensation of, as you allow this mediocrity or this mediocre mindset to take over, you're going to go, well, what's the point? why should I be doing this anymore? I can't be successful. Success is only for, for those people over there. Like they're naturally gifted. Oh, their parents were already successful, so they had everything, that silver spoon, right? They had everything handed to them. Like success isn't for me, right? You begin this complete downward spiral of behavior, mindset, attitude that just aligns with everything else mediocre that you've allowed into your life. And then ultimately, as you continue, the jealousy starts to rise, because then it becomes not so much that they're blessed and you're not, they've got success and you don't. It becomes, well, maybe they didn't deserve their success, or they didn't work for it, or they got their success at my expense. So you start to not only get jealous of other people's not mediocre behavior, i.e. successful behavior, you start to demonize them. Like, oh, all rich people are evil, right? We've all heard this before. Rich people are the worst. Oh, capitalism. Oh, blah, 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 blah. If they had, all this, I don't want to get into that. We understand that mentality when you start to demonize and blame people that are more successful than you. That's because those people, quote unquote, don't accept mediocrity. They don't accept it in themselves. They don't accept it in their partners, whether romantic partners, life partners. They don't accept it in their teammates, in their organizations. That's what makes them successful. That's what allows success to happen. It's no different. Think about this. If you were in high school and you turned in nothing but D and C level work, or even D level work, right? Because mediocre is below average. C is average. How many scholarships are you going to get if you're not a gifted tennis player or football player or baseball, basketball, whatever? You don't have some other hidden talent to fall back on, but you won't, because you're not, that's outside of mediocrity. If you continue to do D-level work, i.e. be mediocre, you will get D-level results. You will not get success, because that's how that works. And then ultimately, you will get to the point that you never fulfill your potential, because your potential, just like your targets and standards, has constantly been walked back by your thinking, by your mindset, by the people and influences around you in order to match them, right? There's that classic saying of, show me your 5 closest friends that you hang out to, and I'll show you your future. Do you hang around people that are successful, that are driven, are motivated, are in shape? They eat healthy, they have healthy relationships. Then you will probably eat healthy, be fit, have healthy relationships, be successful, driven, motivated. But if you hang around people that only want to party, they only want to, get drunk, hook up with random strangers all the time, they only want to, flip jobs every couple months or years, have no career, never invest in themselves, then guess what you're going to do? Never invest in yourself. You're going to bounce from place to place to place. Probably going to end up with STDs because you're bouncing from person to person to person, never taking relationships seriously. So that's how that works. We are a product of our environment. And the whole point of this is that mediocrity, when you allow it, that is the product that you will be. And if by some chance you can escape that in yourself, it will affect your team. If you are the leader of your team, if you are the owner of your business, and you allow that to infest the mentality of your culture and your team, that's what you're going to get. That's the business that you're going to have. You will not have success because people that are successful don't want to be around or do business or transact with mediocre people. Do you understand that? And it's not necessarily personal. Like, hey, I don't want to do business with you, Bob, because, XYZ, whatever behavior or attribute about Bob is counter to that organization's culture and beliefs and attitudes. Does that make sense? I would think so. So be cautious of this. Be cautious of maybe out of sympathy or out of not wanting to be mean or not wanting to appear stuck up, all those types of things that we use, that society uses to justify poor behavior. Be cautious of who and what you allow into your sphere of influence that has direct influence on you, your teams, your business, that may be mediocre. It's an insidious cancer that can absolutely destroy your business over the long term if you allow it. But the good news is you don't have to allow it. Yes, it may be difficult to correct some of those things and situations, to stop allowing that mediocrity to happen and take place and be justified or allowed. But ultimately, if you care about your business, you care about your people, your culture, your environment, that's what you will do in order to be successful. And then you will be successful. So cool. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Do not be mediocre today. Do things that mediocre people don't do. Go for a run. Go for a jog. Join a gym. Hire a personal trainer. Download that app that helps you track your macros or fasting, whatever that is. Get that audiobook, and instead of just listening to the morning talk radio on your way into work, maybe grab how to win how to win friends and influence people, right? Some of the classics. Do that. Self-improvement. That'll help you out tremendously. And then as that train gathers steam and you get on that, that'll just infect everyone around you. Okay? Cool. Hope you guys have a fantastic afternoon. No matter where you're at in the world. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.